What is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Big Things Coming. I am Jonny, and to my left, I have got Jordan Paul and Mel Flynn.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. What the fuck was
What
that?
was that, bro?
Hello.
I thought you burped or something. Man.
It's like, wow.
What the fuck?
How are we starting this?
How we doing?
I'm good, man. Good. Blegh, Ashes of Autumn. What's happening?
Pushing.
Secret squirrel business.
Keep it in the net.
Oh, it's not a
Anything you
secret
wanna
squirrel.
announce?
It's just one of those things that you just don't want to talk about it too much until
Yeah,
until you have it.
Yeah,
You know?
true.
So
I'm stoked. Like Colourmind have moved into Foxhole Studios.
we are roomies.
So Ashes of Autumn and Colourmind are now joined at the hip,
And we're next door.
cleaning up your
And
beer
you're
bottles,
next
Mel. And Belgravia are our neighbours. So
we literally just can't get away from each
we
other.
are family.
Oh yes.
All right.
It's good stuff.
Today, my friends,
Hell yeah.
Who we got?
we've got an awesome guest,
Okay.
and I'm super proud to have this man on the show. I like to call him Perth's Prince of Metalcore. This guy is an absolute fucking legend. Racking up millions of streams on Spotify, hundreds of thousands of followers. The whole world knows this band. We're talking to Tom Kiely from Patient 67.
Hey,
Welcome.
team.
How you going, buddy?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm good, Jonny. Thank you for the beautiful introduction. You're very kind and very happy to be
I'm
here.
just honest, man.
No.
Like
It's all deserved.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Jordy. Thanks, Mel. And
Right.
like I said, really happy to be here. It's
you,
great.
you guys have just come off the final leg of your Australian tour. You were Patient 67. We're
Yeah.
touring with Rune. How was it, man? Like,
Yeah, the tour was fantastic. Yeah, we obviously, every time we are lucky enough to do those tours, we always try and, learn. And obviously being from Perth, it's a different deal. I mean, you guys know this. It's not a, let's just drive 2 hours or 3 hours to the
Right.
nearest city.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
really have to be really intentional with our planning. So we use it as an opportunity to learn, and we always have a great time as well. So
Yeah.
it was a great tour, and we're really thankful to have been a part of it. It was sick.
Awesome.
you're living the dream, dude. Like, I mean, for every band or musician that's coming out and, following their ambition, their dream. And I think for my band as well, like we're learning from what you guys are doing as well. So this is a great opportunity.
Paving the way, right?
Yeah. Like, you did look tired by the end of it. Like,
Yeah, I can't even. I mean, for me, I think the thing I've learned about doing these tours is that it's a great opportunity, but you stretch yourself quite thin, I think, at times.
Yeah.
We travel very small, it's really just a band with us and our sound guy. So having to do a lot of stuff day to day, like we all do with our shows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the travel,
It actually is so fatiguing, hey?
it's crazy, isn't
Yup,
it?
yup.
And the cities are so far apart, compared to somewhere like America, for example, that you are looking at, in 4 days you might play in 4 different places, and look at how many Ks you've covered, whether it's by flying or
Yeah.
driving, and just go, oh yeah, I can see why I'm a little bit run down.
Yeah.
And learning how to balance that has been really it's been a challenge, but it's something I've really enjoyed as well. You feel really accomplished afterwards, which is nice.
So what do you do for self-care on the road?
I wish I practiced what I preached a little bit more, to be honest, Mel. But for me, really just trying to have downtime whenever possible. So even just things like, even just chilling out, listening to music or podcasts or whatever, or just going for a walk, trying to drink lots of water and stuff as well.
Yeah.
The other
and
thing
sleep,
is,
right? Sleep is
100%.
the only thing that restores vocals anyways, and any sort of fatigue you're feeling. And I remember years ago I was on tour, and I was there was weeks on end where it was 6 shows, in a week, and it was oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
And then, you lose your voice, or, you become unwell or something like that. And the only restorative practice was to get decent sleep.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, you nailed it. And I think because of the way the routing is with some of these Australian tours, you're in I don't know, Adelaide to Melbourne is a pretty common one. You'll play in Melbourne and then go to Adelaide, or vice versa. And both times we've done it both ways now. We've driven the 8 hours overnight or the next morning, and then we've also done the flying. So yeah, it's fantastic. Really, really love doing it, but you have to love doing it to do it. That's kind of the
Yes,
irony in it.
absolutely.
Otherwise you just it's
have you got a preferred airline?
we just go with Virgin now, just because we can bring our bags, and they're really cool about it for the most part. Yeah, there's been a few times as well where it's been pretty.
Shit, my bad.
Bit of a
Sorry,
line.
guys.
Just wake up.
Just knocking the table there.
Sometimes you just got to make sure you get a good bit of good luck at the airport, but that's all part of the fun as well.
Yeah.
You roll with it.
Well,
Wicked.
you've also announced you've got another tour coming up. Like, so you guys are just on fire.
Killing
You're not
it.
stopping. And do you,
Very kind.
so like no rest for the wicked, as they say.
so humble.
Like,
Yeah, so this will be our third tour this year and our fourth within the last, like, we did a tour around this time last year as well.
Yeah.
So we have been, by Perth standards, like, just to be clear, like, I feel like you'll see bands in America do like these 30 show tours,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think Australia, like I said, is a little bit different in that
Of
sense.
course.
well, you're limited.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
And you can't, the dates are not going to, unless you're doing like a regional run, there's, 7-8 shows is like a full sort of tour, right?
Yeah.
So this will be our fourth one within the last, like, just over a year. So we weren't really planning on doing it, but then when Redhook hit us up, like, that was an opportunity. We were just like, we would love to be a part
Yep.
of something like that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
we were just like, yes, please.
Redhook are
And
phenomenal.
especially like
Love
they're in the
it.
media now, like that's getting hyper attention with their new release and
100%.
stuff. Yeah, so
And-
you want to get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a kick-ass band, and they
Yeah.
they know how to put on a great show. And the
Absolutely.
other bands as a part of the lineup as well are fantastic. We were like, we want to, like I said, we treat it as a learning experience to learn
Yeah.
from those guys.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's going to be fantastic.
And they're a great bunch of people. I
100%.
supported them at one show here in Perth at Amps.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
yeah, and they're just really lovely people.
M's really cool.
Yeah,
Like,
she's
great
she's
role
dynamite.
model as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Turns out, like, their manager Rob Nassif is actually the owner of the Hen House where
Yes, thank
we
you,
are
Hen
doing the
House. Thank you,
podcast
thank
now.
you.
Yes.
So they've got a great sound. They're a great band, and they've got amazing management
Yeah.
as well. So it's the perfect storm.
Yes, it is.
So what is going on besides all the touring at the moment, Tom? Like, what's Patient 67 doing? I mean, like, I follow you guys. I see all your reels, your videos. Like, dude, you have such an insane following every day. Like, you're posting memes and stuff, which are funny as fuck.
Is that all you?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Excellent.
I think like I've toyed with the idea of like outsourcing that, but it just I'd rather just do less of it than lose like the authenticity
Yeah,
behind it.
it keeps it kind of personal,
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Yeah.
And if like I need to take a break for a while just because like life and stuff, then that's just what'll happen.
Yeah.
In terms of what we're doing, like we've got a lot of other like music and stuff we're working on, as I'm sure like it's the balance between that, live shows and
Life.
life. So just trying to work out a little bit of a
Yeah.
plan around that.
Live shows, content, rehearsals, and then behind all of that, you've also got like your personal life as well, where you do need to recuperate. You need to sleep. You need to rest.
Yep.
It's
Like
true.
even for a small time band, like we have suffered from burnout before. And, I was actually talking to you about this
Yep.
after my album launch, and you got up on stage with us, and
Yeah,
that's
it
when I
was-
first met you. It was really cool. And I said to you, man, like, I don't know what's wrong at the moment, but I was putting so much energy into this
Yeah.
release, and now like I'm wandering around the house like, oh, what do I do?
Yeah.
What do I do now? And like you explained to me, it's the post-release blues.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a real thing.
It's a
Yeah,
real
yeah,
thing.
like, and
yeah.
like Dr. Tom Kiely right here in the house.
It's
But you hit the nail on the head. I was like, dude, you're absolutely right. I was putting 100% of my energy into this, and now it's done.
yeah.
Now what do I do?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's okay to, like, I think if, like, going from my own personal perspective right now, like, as you guys know, we're recording the album and it's just taken so much time. And, like, I was fortunate enough to be unemployed. I don't know many people say that, right? But I was
Living
fortunate
the
enough
dream,
to not
man.
be unemployed for a couple of months, which enabled me to be in the studio like whenever I wanted, however I wanted, when it suited me. I wasn't under pressure
Yep.
and stuff like that. So I pretty much got the vocals done for all of the songs. And now I'm finding myself going, oh, I want.
What do I do with myself?
Yeah.
I want more.
I just keep thinking of that meme, like the guy that goes hands in his pockets, just looking around, just waiting.
Time. But yeah, it's a real thing. And like just finishing something, even though you have a sense of accomplishment, but it's also that sense of like, oh, I really need to do the next thing now.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
That self-pressure.
Can I ask you, man, like, how far ahead are you guys looking? Like, because obviously as a band, you're not just doing a song at a time sort of thing. You're thinking like months in advance, aren't you?
You try to. I think in like in the ideal world, you would try and plan out as far ahead as possible.
Yeah,
But as
yeah.
we all know, it's life can get in the way, plans can change, things change. So I think the sort of, you don't want to get too married to a certain plan, like necessarily, because
Yeah.
you want to be flexible, you want to be adaptable. I think that's a huge
Yeah.
thing that, like, as bands we have to do. But I'd try to at least have like a good idea of what the next like 6 months of releases look
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And if any, I mean, usually there's something in there, but if there is like a gap, it's like, okay, well then what are we doing with that time? Because it's so hard. Like, you have to keep kind of looking for how to get that. What's the next thing going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I found after going through what you sort
Yeah.
of were saying, Jonny, around like after an album release or after even a single release, like
Yeah,
you'll get that
yeah.
initial high of like, yeah, like this is great. And then it's like,
Yeah.
but then like, what's, okay, well, I should
feel
probably,
empty.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
the next sort of
yeah,
step? And that's kind of why I started trying to be really like intentional with that stuff.
Yeah.
In some ways I love the big project planning, Mel, like you were saying, like an album, because it's, you can really dive into that and you
Yes.
can really like, you can really make that like a longer term sort of project, which I think is
Yeah.
really exciting.
It
so
is,
that's the stuff I
absolutely.
love for sure.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
so good.
Well, that's what it's about.
Pretty crazy. I remember saying my old mate, his name's Jacob Stockbridge. He put me onto you guys a while back,
Awesome.
and I remember hearing some stuff, and I was like, "This is really good stuff." And but you know, I'm not like from the world of metalcore and
Yeah.
heavier stuff. And then I believe just randomly on my radar, I believe it was you did like a metal version of High School Musical.
Yeah. That wasn't the band, believe it or not. That was just me. That was just.
I saw that and I was straight up like, I love him. I was sold. From then on, I was like, follow.
Yeah.
Fanboy,
bro.
man crush.
Oh, Zac Efron.
It's, you have to, like, for those sort of ones, it was like, because I was like, that can just go out as like a fun kind of thing, and that is the key word there. It's like, it's so serious all the time,
Yeah.
like, and it's so easy to be like so serious all the time with music. And I think there's no way that I would have been able to keep doing this, or like I just would have, like, fighting burnout. You have to find a way to laugh, have to find a
Yeah.
way to smile, and if you can turn that into something. Like, you know, I loved the High School Musical when I was younger. No shame in that.
No shame at all.
I was like, this would be so much fun. And like that week I was working on that or whatever, it was a really nice break from kind of like the reality of like real, like doing real releases and stuff. And
Yeah.
that kind of probably gave me a little bit more energy and like a springboard into something new, you know?
Yeah.
Bit of
Yeah.
like a shake up almost.
So did,
Wow.
like, when you first sort of got into music and started, you know, experimenting with it,
Yeah.
was metalcore your go-to? Or were you like,
No, like when I was in high school and stuff, like I loved like pop punk bands. Like I
Yeah.
loved like the whole like, you know, Blink
That's a good
182.
answer there, Tom. Good answer there, mate.
and I always will love like that sort of music for sure. And like, yeah, it was those sort of like bands like Blink that had so much fun on stage. Like they just looked like they're having such a blast. Like that energy, I was just drawn into that. And then as a lot of us do with our musical journeys, you go down like, you know, maybe it's one rabbit hole and then you leave.
How deep does this rabbit hole go?
100%. Then you're like, got all these obscure bands, and then after a while, it was like, you know, you sort of get put onto heavier stuff, and then that really became what I loved.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just been that way. But you know, I think the cool thing about music is there's always new stuff to discover as well. I probably, in our busy lives, it's probably as we've gotten older, I don't have enough time to go. And when I was in high school or like even at uni studying, I had so much time. I'd be like, man, I'm just going to look up all these bands and
Yeah.
like find bands I love. I kind of miss doing that, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
discovering, you know, new music, right?
And that's part of the reason why we wanted to start this podcast, is because like it's not, we could spend all day just talking about our bands, but it's more about discovering the Perth bands that are up and coming, or the ones that are around, you know, they have a kick-ass story behind them. And I think I feel so lucky to be a part of this, because we get to have some chats with some amazing people.
Yeah.
Especially the brand new ones.
For sure.
And yeah, but you've got like metalcore, right? It's all about your screams and your growls and
and it doesn't, like, it's not like, it might come very naturally to you, but for some other people it's not, right? So just like I was going to ask you before, having a love for a genre, right, doesn't necessarily mean you can play it or sing it.
100%.
Yeah.
You know, so how did you go like from pop punk to going? Oh,
That's
and
great.
do you know what I mean? Like,
No, that's a
how
great
is it
question.
like? Oh, I'm so like enthused by this music. I feel so inspired for it. I'm just going to fucking go for it.
That's a great question, Mel. I think I definitely, it doesn't come naturally to me at all. I think I just
lies.
No. Like, here's the thing. Like, if you listen, like, if you are listening to those bands all the time, I reckon if you go to a metal show or a metalcore show or whatever heavier show, a good portion of the crowd are going to be able to give you a pretty good scream. Like, I reckon, because if you listen to it, and you're constantly listening to that, you're going to be able to like sort of find some sort of imitation behind that. Obviously doing that and then doing it on stage is very different.
Yeah.
And that's where I've had to put in a lot of work, because I am not a talented like musician. Like I don't play any instruments. Like I enjoy like contributing to like the writing process. I love writing lyrics. Like I love being creative in other ways.
Okay.
So that was my way of being like, if I ever want to be in a band, I should probably figure out how to do something. Like I can do a little bit of singing, but like if I'm doing heavier music, it makes more sense to kind of become more comfortable doing screams. So it was just practice and practice.
And did you get like vocal training for that? Scream training?
I mean, like if you count YouTube videos,
they count. I think they absolutely
yeah,
count.
you learn like the mechanics behind it, and it's kind of like if you were like wanting to learn a song on guitar, or like you know you might look it up and be like, oh, what are the tabs, or how do you play this? So that's kind of like the approach.
You've got your different ways of approaching a song, like especially a cover. It's like you can watch someone play it, you can pick it up by ear, or you know you can read the tablature. Like, you know, the DIY IKEA smart kit, you know, like flat pack of learning a cover song.
100%.
Learning.
Now look, Tom, you in your songs you chuck in this thing called a blah, right?
Yeah.
Did I pronounce it correctly?
I think you got it right. Yeah.
Is blah. Ugh. Now I actually I want to do something today.
Oh god, what's he doing?
Jordy, Mel,
No.
I challenge you guys to a black contest.
I'm not a black
right?
girl.
Okay.
Jordy, you up?
Yeah.
You guys go.
And I want Tom
No,
to
you
judge
guys
us.
go.
Yeah.
I'll judge you.
All right.
Oh god, this is putting me on the spot. Yeah. Can we go first? You go first.
You go first. I'm probably going to burp all over the mic. I
don't want to.
That's an automatic win then. You're good.
Okay, I don't want to do it too much into the mic where it just destroys your eyes.
We'll get Peter to chuck in some metalcore here, man. Oh, that was good.
I like the little
Spicy.
fry
Shit,
in
that's
there.
spicy.
That was very nice.
That was good. Like
Paprika.
I'm not feeling confident now.
Should have gone first, mate.
All right, Peter. Hopefully you can get some metalcore playing right now.
And Jonny broke the sound barrier.
That's why I went to the side. Here to the side.
I'm sorry if I just spat all over the henhouse mics then.
I might have got in my beer.
The winner is Tom.
Oh man.
Hang on, it was going to be all three of yous. And then I was...
I'm not doing
Tom's
one.
the judge. He's the professional.
Mel, you want to
supposed to.
put us to shame.
I'll do like fry stuff, but I'm not doing a blah. No.
Oh, you can do a fry
No, I'm
script.
not doing it now. No,
I
that's a squeal. That's
Oh, pig squeal. Yeah.
I wouldn't say I can't pick a winner. That's impossible.
They're quite different.
No,
That's right.
because that's kind of I think the lesson we take out of this is there's many different styles and many different ways you can do it. And
Jonny was all about like the volume.
100%.
Yeah.
Jordy was all
Technique.
about like
He's
the
got that-
technique. Combine those two together, winning team. There you go.
I think that's a
Would
12
work
out
well
of 10.
Very
together.
diplomatic of us, right?
But
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Like I've been listening to both of you guys scream when you're on stage, and it's like I'm trying to learn how to do it because both of you guys have actually jumped up on stage for one of my songs for the breakdown. It's like I just want to learn how to do it. In my opinion, you've either got it or you don't.
Nah,
Like,
son.
I try to scream and I've like coughed up a lung.
Practice
Yeah.
makes perfect. You just gotta keep trying.
No, it's a technique, and I think it doesn't like for me personally. I can't do like the gutturals and stuff
Yeah,
like that. I'm not
I've also
like a ginger
heard you
girl.
scream as well. Like you've got
I
to.
remember you walked. I was rehearsing here. I went outside to like have a break, and then you came across the car park. Like I fucking thought I heard you screaming. I'm like Jesus. I'm like
Yeah, that's
just
Mel.
trying something out. But like there's different like techniques to get different sounds and stuff. And like I will never be that guttural ginger kind of
Like you said, Tom. You know, like you were growing up and. You feel like you weren't musically talented for a guitar or whatever. Like I'm the same as far as vocals go. I did join the school choir when I was a young kid, and
Jonny,
I tried.
I can see it.
The same here.
I was even.
Front row.
I was even in a dance class.
You were up front and center, weren't you?
That was me.
That was me.
Oh god.
But speaking of, sorry, I'm singing.
Yeah.
I don't want to cut you off, my friend.
please do.
You're not just a screamer; you're also a singer as well.
Yeah.
I sing a little bit.
Have you been singing for a
You
long
are
time?
way
or
too
is it-
humble, man.
I think no. It's just I'm not
You are.
a like a trained singer or anything like that. I think it was again something that came out of like necessity as the band was kind of growing. It was like, you know, much like Jonny, I was in the choir when I was younger. You know,
Yeah, take that, Jordy.
I was too.
Yeah, see, the truth comes out.
They definitely hit me in the corner, but that's fine. I was there. That's all that mattered. Got to wear like a fun outfit, probably. when we did
Participation trophy.
Literally. Look, I think as a band kind of grew, and we were like discovering, what we wanted to sound like and how we wanted to sound. It was just something that I kind of lent into a little bit. We did some acoustic versions of some songs, like just for as releases, and we were like, let's just do it. And obviously, like, you're constantly learning how to improve, and again, doing it live, like I'm still very much learning how to use my voice the best I can. Yeah. But that's something I'm constantly trying to improve and
that's it. It's all a part of the journey. There is no finish line, is there? Like you're always looking for new ways, new styles, like
new influences.
100%. I would definitely agree with that, and I think that's a really, really good approach, because you don't feel like you're sort of tied down to sort of one way of doing things, whether that's one, I don't know, sound or technique or whatever. It also keeps things fresh and stuff.
Yeah, and I think it diversifies. There we go, got it out. Diversifies your writing as well, and how you approach the writing process. Like, we've had this conversation about, pocket building and like putting one and all that stuff, and it's like, and on the way here I was listening to some songs that we've just recorded recently, and I'm like, wow, those 4 songs are so vastly different, but I kind of love that on one album. So like, definitely. I think like when you lend to those different styles, it makes it a more interesting process for the listener.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, Tom, like for any bands out there now, whether they're in Perth or just around Australia, around the world, like what advice can you give to like a new, young, aspiring band, or even an old band, or like regardless,
some fresh.
What advice can you give them, like if they feel like they are dormant, or like?
Yeah, it's such a hard one, because every situation, like, and we've sort of seen people over the last few years offer, like, I'll consult with your band, like give you advice, because every situation is so specific. But I think one thing I would say is that you need to, like, make sure, like we've spoken about already, find the time to take care of yourself. That's the biggest thing that I'm still learning how to do, is like, if I don't feel good, obviously the music we write and talk and lyrics we write often are not good. That's
that's the genre.
But you have to balance that out, right? I think the one thing I'd say is just find something that you love about the process, because we're not all going to love every element of it. Some people love playing live. Some people love playing live, don't like, or they might be more comfortable in the studio, or maybe they love they might love all of that but hate doing the content side of things. Find the area that you love, build on that, and then it's about rounding out the rest of the like, you don't have to do everything by yourself either. I think we've got people around us that can help us, people around us we can reach out to,
sharing
for advice.
The weight
and play to strengths as well, right?
100%. And then whatever area it is that you don't feel confident in, take the time to look at why, like what you can kind of do to learn about that. And even if you're not great at it, you can still learn about how things work. Like, for example, for me, like I said, suck at guitar, suck at, like, I don't know how really that element, like, I'm not as confident with that stuff. So I just took the time to, like, sit down with Rory, our guitarist, and just go through some bits and pieces. And then all of a sudden, like, that part of the process doesn't seem so, like, obviously I just know a little bit more about it, feel a little bit more comfortable.
That also reminds me, dude, you have the Guinness World Record for the most amount of bass players in a band.
That too. That's one way to get around. So, just hire lots of people to do the work for you.
Where are we up to now, mate? How many bass players?
In all seriousness, like, someone did, like, run the list on our Facebook group, and it is like 1,600 people. So they're actually a legitimate number of people.
All right,
hey, wait, what?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about rabbit holes? This is definitely one.
No. I'm so sorry. I feel like I have totally misunderstood what was just said.
Yes.
Bass players in your band, you've had 1,600 of them.
So essentially,
this is awesome. Because me and Jordy know what it's about.
So essentially, like, it was like Facebook status where it was like, if you're reading this, like, you play bass for our band now.
Okay, I got you.
So then it was like lots of people commenting, being like, oh, like, I'm not going to make it a practice. I live in, like, different country.
You all left that bit of content out. I'm just saying.
And then in our Facebook group, we started assigning numbers to people, and, like, it's been crazy because, like, we now have an official, like, numerical list of people, and, like, based on the number that you're assigned.
I see what you did there. Tom Kiely, 1 point there. We've got a score
official
system
score
going,
chart
Tom.
now.
So, and then we were just like, cool, this is like, it's kind of like the way we like refer to people who enjoy the band, enjoy being a part of the
The
community.
engagement.
It was
It's
also
really
very
fun.
Yeah.
smart thinking, by the way, just for increasing engagement. Just saying.
Oh, dude, like it's got me hooked.
Whatever works, baby.
But do you know what's crazy about that is I will say, like, I think sometimes that stuff can be forced, and I think the cool thing about this one is just we didn't plan it.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of happened.
I love
and
that.
Natural, yeah.
and that's
yeah.
I think what
Yeah.
we've loved about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just been so organic.
Tom, can you please allocate us three a bass?
I'd have to check. I'd actually have to check.
Yeah.
People get very annoyed if someone like
Yeah,
takes their number.
I don't want to.
I'm not joking. Like someone was like,
I'll
I'm
fight.
Yeah, they were like, I'm
Yeah.
666. Like, because obviously
Yeah,
that's a very
yeah.
popular bass number, and they were like, this is mine, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
well, you don't step on another bassist number. So
I just want to be bass player number 69. Okay.
That's way long gone, my friend.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sure
know.
that was.
You could be 1669.
yeah. I'll take it. Yeah.
Still counts.
But you know, I want my Patient 67 official bass number.
Yeah, I'll get you out. I'll
Yeah.
consult the list and the powers that
Thank
be,
you,
and
dude.
get
Like,
back
that
to
would
you.
be sick. And you've got new music coming out, obviously.
Ooh, yay.
Is there any official dates that you want to let us know, or
To be
still
honest,
on the hush hush?
we have like a. So we're working on I haven't said this anywhere, but we're working on a deluxe version of our EP. We had we put the EP out in April, and like we're
Yeah.
sort of doing some stuff with that, and releasing some like new versions of songs.
Yes.
Ooh, I love that.
Yeah, just to kind of like, we've done it before and it's worked really well for us, but also gives us a bit of breathing room while we're working on like new music.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So just as a
That's
little
actually,
bit of a stopgap.
that's a really cool idea.
Breathe
Yeah.
some new life into it as well.
100%. Maybe like, and as you guys know, there's so much great music coming out all the time. It's like, okay, we're still trying to find our audience in a lot of different ways. So like this will give the songs a new opportunity to be heard as well.
Yeah.
So
Well, dude, that's actually a really good idea, and I didn't even think of it. You know, like maybe you've had a song that hasn't performed so well, maybe do a digital remaster.
Yeah.
Like,
100%.
See
And
it.
Or just
I never
re-record
thought of
it in a different way.
100%.
Yeah.
And that, and in all seriousness, like I feel like it's because you're releasing singles and stuff, you do have the sort of freedom to play like with those songs if you wanted to.
Yes, exactly.
Like then we have one, I think at the end of October, it's one of our songs from the EP. We've collaborated with like another band who've come in and like done like their version of the song with us. So it's become
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
remix, re-collab.
Oof.
That's sick.
And then it's like the song gets heard by more people, but again, it just gives us that time while that stuff's happening to sort of work on like some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
People can hear that and be like, I love this version. Oh, wait, there's the original one.
Yeah,
yeah.
Let me
Yeah.
go back.
Yeah.
There's a whole EP.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
people who like the song, like the original one, go, oh man, they collabed with this band on that. That'll be sick. I'm checking that out.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
100%.
So the fans that do love like both bands that collab, they can actually find the source and be like, oh, this one's sick.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tom, we've got a segment on the show where it's called What's on Repeat. Peter's just going to slap it on the screen now. So if we were to go onto your Spotify right now, what's a song that you've got on repeat right now?
Look, I think I'm listening to a lot of a band called Galleons. Now they're an Australian band, but they're also, I think one of their members is definitely international.
Right.
But their vocalist Tom, he's in Brisbane. He's an amazing singer, and they put out an album recently, a couple of months ago. And there's a song on that album. I think it's called Cry Baby, and it's really, really cool. They remind me of like mid 2000s to early 2010s, like post hardcore, a lot of riffing.
Yeah.
What was the name again?
Galleons, the band's
Galleons.
called.
There we
Yeah,
go.
it's really like riffy, really fun vocal lines. Not riffy in like a metal sense, probably riffy more in like a, I don't even know how to explain it, like more like experimental post-hardcore type vibes.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay.
Really enjoyable, and yeah, like I said, takes me back like to a more nostalgic time. I'm also enjoying the new Wage War album as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
it's-
Oh,
sick.
Wage War.
Yeah.
I need to. I'd like I said, I wish I had more time to actually like I rely on my Spotify release radar to give me new music, but then it's like, well, I've heard one song, like, I want to dive into the full album and pick out my favorites and
See,
stuff.
the algorithm, man, it's got you hooked. Like, it reels you in like that. It's like, oh, you want a
good for
taste
it.
of this? Oh, you're going to love this.
Well, on that note, what are you guys listening to at the moment?
Good question. I wasn't ready for that.
Now I'm like, because this is a great way to get to some new recommendations. Is there anything in particular?
He's on the spot.
Jeez. Yeah.
It's harder to answer than you think, isn't
It
it?
is.
It really is. It really is. Like, because, well, I don't want to sound like I'm blowing my own trumpet, you know. But obviously, you know, Colourmine, we've just recently lost our singer, and we've got a new singer now. I can't say anything, but I've been listening to our new demo, and
Love is Blind.
Nice.
No, that's no.
No.
That's no.
Oh, that's old news.
No,
New
that
Hasn't even come out yet.
That,
but
well, but thank you for shouting that out.
I was gonna say, I was just trying to lay up.
That is Colourmine's latest release, but yeah,
I think I was just going to say, Johnny, like because I'm in the same boat, like as musicians, where if we've got something we're working on, I feel like we'll listen to that like so many times to like pick it apart, on repeat,
Absolutely.
and then it's like, oh, like I actually need to go and listen to like, you know, other music as well, and that's the hardest part.
And but thank you for reminding me. No, I have been listening to Deftones' White Pony album on
Classic.
repeat, man. Like I'm a big Deftones fan. Like that was my turning point. Like, you know, Dragon Ball Z, Deftones, and Megarang Noodles, dude. Like, I don't need
great
women.
combination.
Love you, Cass. What about you guys?
Mel?
Yeah.
I've gone back down because, like you were just saying, so heavily focused on what we were doing, and it was just like, oh my god, I need a break for myself. So I've gone back down the rabbit hole with Tremonti. I've always loved Mark Tremonti's playing. And I loved him in Alter Bridge. I still love him in Alter Bridge, but their albums are so uniquely their own. And he's got, his voice is next level. You know, and I mean, you know, Miles from Alter Bridge, like he's amazing as well. But Mark Tremonti, man, if you just haven't heard him, please have a listen because it's awesome.
Did you see that Creed Back on the Road again?
Yes, with Tremonti, Mark Tremonti again.
Oh, that's so dope.
I saw them playing. I was on like a radio TV show. And oh my god, Scott Stapp still got it.
Like, oh man,
oh my god, I was like,
dude, like
if they're coming to Australia, I'm seeing them.
Unlocking a childhood memory right there.
Oh,
like
right.
where I first discovered their album Human Clay. There's 12-year-old me in the choir singing Creed, you know?
And your teacher's like, no! Back to high voice!
Who are you bumping?
Well, I was thrashing out Bring Me's album because when it dropped, it was blah. But that same day, Bill Murray.
Oh yeah,
Not Bill Murray.
Not Bill Murray. Bill Murray.
I'm
they
so
dropped the
into
EP.
that, man. I'm so
it's
into
great.
it. Yeah.
It was like a 5-track EP, but last Friday they dropped like an album. So it was like a prelude EP into the full album.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And it's called All American Sports, I think. And it's just same vibe, just country twang, but metalcore riffs. And he's just the funniest,
cool.
like, as you're talking about having fun with it, all his promotion of him just like open, he's like got a dad bod, open American Eagle flag shirt, and he's just like really playing into the joke and like really
Patriotic.
Like, it's just like, you have more fun with it.
Dude,
I'm like,
I was meaning to
this.
ask you as well. Did you hear Eminem's new single
Oh,
from
yeah.
his upcoming album, Houdini? It's actually sick.
Oh, bro, I've been
I love
loving
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Who's
Like,
back?
He's like, you know,
Back again.
yeah, he's bringing like his old school stuff from his album.
Talking about from the Eminem show?
Yeah, the Eminem show. Yeah, like
So he was
What we were
flipping-
just talking about, literally, like reinventing yourself again, using the
So
same
he
stuff.
interpolated the chorus or the intro into Steve Miller Band's Abracadabra.
Yeah.
Abracadabra,
I'm about to reach in my bag, bruh.
I'm about to reach out and stab you.
That too, but that was the lyric of the
Dude.
song. It was really good.
Let's do a metalcore version of that.
Look, we could.
I won't say no to anything.
Quick shout out to the Hen House.
Thank you,
Massive
Hen
shout
House.
out.
Dave
Gillen
Rehearsal
Music.
Studios.
Ta-da!
Dave Gillen from Mustang Print. Thank you so much. And also to Scudley Films, the blind man behind the camera,
The
Peter
wizard.
Renzullo, the wizard.
And shout out to everyone watching along. Thank you guys for coming back every week. We
Love you guys.
Take care. Bye.
Blech.